Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Butterfly Palace. Have the best day ever at the Butterfly Palace. Springfield Greene County Park Board, reminding you to go play. Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, good Thursday morning to you. Hope your Wednesday was great. Hope your week is going great. And we survived the cool down, which is nice. And now I think we begin the warm up, which
hopefully, yes.
I'm looking forward to. So
me too.
We will begin with some news this morning.
The Springfield Police Department is trying some incentives to get more officers to join the force. Starting tomorrow, new recruits will get a hiring bonus of $5,000 and be eligible for up to $2,500 per year in student loan reimbursement. Officers that come from another department will also get a $10,000 signing bonus. So that's a big deal. SPD is also working on possible childcare for officers. Springfield voters approved money for 3 major construction projects for Springfield Public Schools, all part of a $220 million bond issue question. And now work is about to get underway on the first project. A bid has been accepted for the new Reed Academy of Fine and Performing Arts. In fact, it's actually going to be cheaper than initially expected. The new venue should be finished in 2026 and be home to more than 700 6th through 8th graders. Pershing will also be getting remodeled with that bond money, and a new Pipkin Middle School will also eventually be in the works.
All I heard was cheaper than expected. I think that's fantastic. That's music to
which is good because
ears.
With bond money, I mean, they can use it for some of the other projects, perhaps. So that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a big story for you. On Saturday, this Saturday, March 2nd, is the Missouri caucus, which is a first for us and Republican caucus, and it's exciting. I mean, I think it's exciting because it replaces the presidential primary, and I like the idea of a caucus because it's kind of like a think tank. You can learn a lot. Anyway, for Greene County residents on Saturday, you can just show up. There was pre-registration that's closed, but you don't have to be pre-registered. You just show up at 10 a.m. at the Oasis Convention Center on North Glenstone. For Christian County, that is happening. Where did it go? At the Ozark Junior High School on West Jackson. Douglas County is at the Douglas County Courthouse. So if you go to missouri.gop, you can find out where your county will be caucusing this Saturday, March 2nd at 10 a.m.
It's interesting, the format of that, because it's basically you sit in a room and you fight it out. You argue back and forth and you try to persuade the other team to come onto your team. And I've enjoyed seeing stories about other states caucusing, and I've always thought that was interesting, but we've never done it here. So at least in a long time, maybe a long time ago, I'm trying to remember that. But at any rate, it is history making this Saturday, and it'd be neat to be a fly on the wall and just see it, hear it.
I know. I agree. I always love exit interviews. So that's fun for me because it feels like an exit interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to listen to people's discussions and why they are voting the way they're voting, why they think that way. So anyway, good times.
This Saturday. Meanwhile, Houston, Missouri is gearing up for a new library. It's going in literally on top of the current storm shelter there that's located at First and Pine. By the end of next summer, it should be up and running, ready to go with conference rooms, business center, new computers, kids area. So that should be good for folks in Houston, Missouri. And speaking of upgrades, you can add Arrowhead Stadium to the list, likely. That is, if the Chiefs taxpayers, if the Chiefs want to do that, that is if the taxpayers agree to extending a 40-year extension on a sales tax up there in Jackson County. The stadium would then get quite a facelift, expanded parking, pedestrian bridges, a dedicated ride share zone, concourses would be upgraded, in-zone clubs and suites at the field level. So, I mean, it'd be a major undertaking, and it ain't cheap, $800 million for that. You can see the renderings online. The Chiefs announced them yesterday. So voters, again, have to agree to a sales tax extension. And then separately, there's the Royals. They'd like a new stadium in a different place. So that's on the ballot as well for voters coming up, I think April 4th, but it's coming up soon.
I do think that when people see the renderings, they're really cool looking. That will like kind of shape how they feel about it, you know?
Well, I think it's a different thing too when it's extending a tax as to adding a new tax. Because if people are like, well, I mean, I'm already paying this thing. I guess I could pay it for 40 more.
40 more years. And then they think to themselves, I won't be around for 40 more years.
Yeah, I'll let my
Do I
kids
want my
pay it.
kids to pay that? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So this might be a little disheartening for you. The Army is making some significant cuts in positions as recruitment has fallen off. 24,000 positions are being cut. Some military strategists say, though, that they are just shifting away from counterterrorism and shifting more toward Russia and China.
Well,
interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know why that would mean fewer people. It seems like we'd still need more, but recruiting efforts have fallen flat.
That's not good.
Nope.
But imagine we're relying on AI for everything these days anyway. So AI will keep us safe.
Actually, I did read multiple stories about AI that I could have put in this very newscast, but I didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Lots of interesting business news that could affect us here in the Ozarks. First, Macy's department stores closing 150 locations, but we do know now that they will not be closing the location at the Battlefield Mall. That Macy's store will remain open. So people everywhere are happy about that. Macy's will close what they call unproductive locations starting sometime later this year or early next year. Interestingly, Macy's will open smaller stores in strip malls, which is, I guess, the way things are going. It's planning about 30 of those stores to start. So we'll see how well those do, and that'll probably determine whether they do more than 30. Meanwhile, 41 stores under the Bloomin' brand are closing across the country. They are also underperforming locations. Some are unperforming. The company operates Outback Steakhouse, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bonefish Grill, and Fleming's. Out of those, we only have an Outback in the Springfield area, and no word at this point on its future. But just anecdotally, there are lots of cars there when I drive by. Don't know what that means. Apple will not be going into the electric car business. You didn't even know they were thinking about it, but apparently they have. They've ended a secret project to build a self-driving electric car after spending billions of dollars on it. About 2,000 employees have been working on that, and now the whole project is nixed. Some of those employees will be moved to the, speaking of AI, the artificial intelligence division of Apple. Others will sadly be likely laid off.
Interesting. That's a lot of money just to be done with it.
Well, I'd like to know, I mean, they've spent so much in it. So for them to end it completely and say, we can't work through this problem, it had to be a big hurdle to overcome. Right. I wonder what that was.
Or they said, you know what? Let's stay in our lane. We'll stick to phones primarily. And then, of course, watches, computers. But it's that's a much bigger liability out there on the roads. So if you are a senior citizen, or perhaps you are helping care for one, this story is for you. Springfield's Better Business Bureau is hosting an event today at 10 a.m. to help you not become a victim of any sort of online scam, whether it's social media stuff, ordering retail items, even online dating. The BBB is going over all things electronic, if you will. The event is free and open to the public today at 10 a.m. at the Schweitzer Brentwood Branch Library.
Okay.
So that's good.
Good service. People need it.
Send my mother to that.
I feel like everything, you suspect everything is a scam these days.
Yeah.
But you have to.
And then finally this weekend, also going on for the younger crew, March 2nd, Saturday from 9 to 1 at the YMCA on Pat Jones YMCA on East Republic Road. They are having a Dr. Seuss event. So you can be visited by the Cat in the Hat. You can be read to by Dr. Seuss. They have some Seuss themed activities. Again, that's at the Pat Jones Y from 9 to 1 on Saturday.
I don't think Dr. Seuss will be reading to anyone, but maybe somebody reading Dr. Seuss books.
The Cat in the Hat is going to be reading.
Yeah, but Dr. Seuss will not be reading that book.
The Cat in the Hat will be reading about himself.
Yeah, it ain't Dr. Seuss.
Fair enough.
God rest his soul.
All right, that's all. That's all we got for you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, have a great Thursday. Don't forget on Saturday. I want a full report because at the caucus because I won't be there. As much as I love the idea, I'm going to be out of town.
Yeah, well, I like to watch political things. I mean, I too much politics, and these days it's easy to get too much pretty quick. But you and I have always been just interested in politics and the process and the way that it all works. And God bless our system; it's the best system in the world. But it would be neat to just watch and go back and be a reporter on Saturday and just hear what everybody says.
Maybe Bridget will watch this morning and she'll call me and ask me if I can work on Saturday. Okay. It's fun. Okay. Have a great day. And we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.
All right. Have a good day.